and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 1 o'clock, we're now up to 2 degrees in Milwaukee. A cold weather advisory is in effect through noon tomorrow. Expect wind chills of 20 to 30 degrees below zero. An extreme cold warning will go into effect for Jefferson, Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, Dodge, Washington, and Ozaukee counties at midnight. That's for wind chills as low as 35 below. It is dangerously cold outside. Today, mostly sunny, though. We'll take that, right? It brightens the spirits. Very cold, a high of 5, the wind making it feel much worse. Tonight, mostly clear, very cold. We have a low of 10 degrees below zero by the lake, 15 below inland, and the wind chill, once again, making it feel worse. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Ty. President Donald Trump officially sworn in now as the 47th President of the United States. His inauguration speech packed with many of the themes from his campaign.
The golden age of America begins right now.
The president's opening words were followed by some of his top goals.
I will declare a national emergency at our southern border,
allowing him to send troops, reinstitute the Remain in Mexico policy, halt all illegal entry as part of what he called a revolution of common sense. The president also promised to bring down prices and impose tariffs on foreign countries. And in a bow to American exceptionalism,
I will very simply put America first.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump vowing executive action to pause a ban on the social media app TikTok. Janesville Republican Congressman Brian Stile tells WTMJ the app still has to separate from its Chinese-owned parent company.
And the fact that they won't divest of it, meaning sell it for billions of dollars to separate this national security concern, they would rather have your data than have the money of selling the company.
TikTok temporarily disappeared for America's 170 million users over the weekend, but was later restored. New details now about an 80-year-old man who died after being found on the sidewalk in the bitter cold. Surveillance video shows John Siebold in Milwaukee falling down on the corner of 13th and Orchard Avenue just before 2:30 Sunday morning. Siebold then appears to get back up and grab a nearby tree before falling again. He was found nearly 4 hours later unresponsive on the sidewalk. The medical examiner has ruled Siebold's death an accident. Well, one day down, 2 more to go. Arctic air continues to spill into southeast Wisconsin with wind chills enhanced by a steady breeze from the northwest. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says the worst of the cold arrives tomorrow morning when an extreme cold advisory takes effect for portions of our listening area.
That is north and west of Milwaukee. Most of the counties, including Jefferson, Dodge, Washington, Ozaukee, Sheboygan, and Fond du Lac. That will go in effect at midnight and continue until noon Tuesday for wind chills as low as 35 below, mainly north and west of Milwaukee.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in just minutes. Extreme Santa Ana winds are returning to fire-battled Southern California.
Extreme winds are expected to hit overnight tonight. During those times, firefighting aircraft may not be able to fly. 70 to 80 mile per hour wind could be even stronger in some areas. James White is at the National Weather Service.
The time when we have a potential for those strongest winds to mix down is only about 8 hours or so.
170 extra fire engines, water tenders, and firefighting aircraft have been pre-deployed by the governor's office. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Time for your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, and it's a quick one today. That's because the markets are closed today for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
You gotta get to Built Right today. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right furniture, leather, and mattresses. My family just bought a new living room set and a mattress at Built Right. What a great experience. Built Right's extended New Year's sale and $1 million clearance sell-off is on now. It's all about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. 4 generations, 97 years strong. 3rd and 4th generation family members on hand in the store along with their amazing team. Thousands of items in stock or custom order at a low sale price. USA made small scale, Ohio Amish made, and real solid wood furniture. Over 48 models of power lift recliners in stock. 60 models of USA made mattresses, including flippable and heavy duty models. Built Right always saves you money. Free in-store design services. Built Right voted best place to shop. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, just off of 894 at 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Milwaukee Bucks score a perfect homestand, winning all 4 games. The last one, last night, beating Philadelphia 123-109. After the victory, head coach Doc Rivers acknowledged despite the win, the overall team effort was a little bit underwhelming.
Early in the year we may have lost that, though. Tonight we win the game, and that's what you have to do. You got to stack up wins when you can, and we're doing that.
It was a fun one to watch, especially there at the end with Dame. Milwaukee is now 24-17, heading into a couple of off days before traveling to New Orleans on Wednesday. The NFL Conference Championship games are now set. In the NFC, Washington will travel to Philly Sunday after the Eagles' 28-22 win over the Rams. And the AFC, the Chiefs will host the Bills. And tonight in Atlanta, it's the national championship for college football. 8-seed Ohio State takes on 7-seed Notre Dame. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. The thing about the roads today is, since it's a holiday, there just aren't a lot of people on the roads. So that's been good news. We have a couple of disabled vehicles on the system. We do have an incident on I-94 East at the ramp from Wisconsin 164 County J. Right shoulder is blocked. Looks like that one's just a disabled vehicle, though, even though they're calling it an incident. And then over towards Fond du Lac, another disabled vehicle on the exit to Wisconsin 49 from 41 North. Hopefully they are warm inside those cars that are broken down. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold weather advisory is in effect through noon tomorrow for wind chills of 20 to 30 degrees below zero. And take note, an extreme cold warning goes into effect for Jefferson, Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, Dodge, Washington, and Ozaukee counties at midnight tonight. And that goes through noon tomorrow. That's for wind chills as low as 35 below. Yes, it is dangerously cold outside, so be prepared. Don't go out there if you don't need to. Today, at least it's sunny, right? We have a high of 5. Tonight, -10 by the lake. We're looking at 15 below inland. Tomorrow, sunny again, very cold. We have a high of 3 tomorrow, so it's going to be even colder tomorrow. Wednesday, our temps start to go back up. Thank goodness, right? Scattered snow showers on Wednesday, breezy, warmer. We have a high of 23. Woohoo! Thursday, we're going to 26. And Friday, we're almost hitting 30. It's going to be nice on Friday, mostly sunny, and a high of 28. But are you ready for this? It's only 1 degree in Port Washington, 4 degrees in Racine, and we're now up to 2 degrees in Milwaukee. But remember, the wind making it feel much worse. I'm Jessica Ty. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:09.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Oh boy, do we have a lot to cover today, Brian. This weekend, the last 48 hours of news have been a lot.
I was asleep. Did anything big happen? What are you talking about?
There was a 14-hour TikTok ban. Trump became a meme coin billionaire over the weekend. This morning, Biden preemptively pardoned his family and Fauci and January 6th committee members. Nearly half of Americans are under cold weather alerts today. And as we are watching on TV right now, Donald Trump is officially been sworn in as our 47th president, and is now headed to sign somewhere between, I've heard, anywhere between dozens to 200 executive orders today. So where do you want to start? Because I think maybe we should start with your good news.
Do we start with good news?
Let's start with your personal good news, because the rest of the show can be all of that.
This is exciting. People will remember that in October, I theorized that we had been summoned out to my daughter and her boyfriend's apartment in Pittsburgh for what I believed was going to be an engagement. Because if you remember, and if you weren't here, all 4 parents were asked to come at the same time. Nothing happened. We had a lovely weekend. We saw a Penguins game. We went to a couple breweries. Nothing happened. Last week, my daughter works for a remote company that every year takes them on a company retreat. So they were in Panama, and they're allowed to bring their significant other with them. Cut to the chase. My daughter got engaged on Saturday night. Yeah, it's very exciting. We like the guy very much. They were in a rainforest resort that they went to after the meeting was done. They had gone to a sloth encounter thing, and so he got a little ceramic sloth and put the ring on it on the balcony outside their room before they went to dinner on Saturday. And so
good.
They got
Congratulations
home.
to her. That's very exciting for you guys.
Yeah, it is very exciting. Now the real fun begins of me just praying that she, uses adult decision-making skills and not the Disney princess decision-making skills when it comes to the wedding. But, yeah, we're very happy for both of them. His parents are very happy, obviously. So, yeah, it was. So there's the good news.
There's some good news.
There's your bright spot. If you're looking for anything to cling to, that some fun things can happen, some nice things. There's one of them. There
is one of them. It's also Martin Luther King Day, and here is a fun fact: for the second time, just the second time since it became a federal holiday in 1983, Martin Luther King Jr. Day coincides with Inauguration Day. The last time it happened when Bill Clinton took office in 1997, and the next time will be 2053.
We're not going to have to worry about elections then.
Oh, God, Brian. All right, well, what is happening at Inauguration Day? We are going to check in with our friend of the station, friend of the show, Bill McCoshen, Republican strategist. You know him from the Political Power Hour on Fridays. He was there.
Yeah.
Unclear if he was in the main room or if he is in one of the side rooms that the 20,000 ticketed people who went to the inauguration, who flew to D.C. Once it wasn't outside, there was obviously different arrangements being made. So he'll fill us in and kind of sights and sounds, what the vibe was like, where he got to watch it, and maybe give us some feedback on what he thinks of all of this craziness that happened over the weekend and what we can expect for the rest of this week. Stay with us on Spanning the State.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
We are joined on the phone by former Milwaukee Brewers Vice President Laurel Prade.
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
Bud made known to Bob that in no uncertain terms that he wasn't going anywhere. He called George and he said, you don't want me to tell you what I said to George that day.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavidi for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Here's what I love about Heiser. All the great programs. Safe and Sound program. Vehicle exchange program. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser, today's your day.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
These are going to be the best pancakes ever.
Let's see. Griddle, mixing bowls, and birdseed.
For the world's first pancake bird feeder snowman. Ta-da!
For home-cooked breakfasts, special bird feeders, and more, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Like 50-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seed, $19.99, and KT Suet Cakes, 4 for $6. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 4-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Bridgelawns.
It is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I'm Kristen Bry, and it is Inauguration Day, as you've probably been following along with coverage either on TV or here with us. And friend of the station, friend of the show, Bill McCoshen, Republican strategist, was there.
Yes.
Bill, sight, sounds, were you impressed? Are you warm?
Well, so sort of there. I had VIP tickets, my wife and I and my daughter and her boyfriend, that my son got us. And then when things changed on Friday afternoon, it was up in the air as to who was getting into where. And we thought we might get into Capital One Arena, where President Trump and Vice President Vance are going to be in a couple hours, but couldn't get through the magnetometers there either. So we ended up watching it on TV like most Americans today.
Okay, so were you in? Because I saw that they were setting up, because obviously there's 20,000 some people came to D.C. to watch this. And so I know that they were setting up some other screens. Were you just at a bar, or were you in a different room that had set up a special screen for this?
No, we literally watched it from the hotel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We couldn't get in. Yeah, because it was the change because of the weather. And it is super cold out here today. But I will say this, it's at least sunny and it's dry today. The last 2 days have been rainy and damp, which has made it even feel colder. But yeah, hasn't happened since 1985, but they moved the ceremony inside, and we sadly had to watch it on the monitors like everybody else.
So you had VIP tickets and still ended up watching from your hotel room. When you got to town, were you talking to some other people who maybe they just had the regular tickets? Are they all getting into the arena, or are they kind of in the same boat as you, Bill, and just going, all right, I got to find a TV?
So Brian, the arena had VIP tickets, and we had 2 of those, but apparently we waited a little too long to try and use those.
Okay.
The rest of it was first come, first serve. So there were people lined up last night when we got back from the Wisconsin ball, getting ready, and it was a cold night here. So there were people lined up last night waiting to get into the Capital One Arena for, the president should be there around 3:00 your time today.
And so what was how much did this shift the energy or the enthusiasm as far as how many people had traveled to go, knowing that plans changed last minute like this? Did you feel it being different? I mean, obviously you yourself and your family are a little disappointed.
There was a little bit of a shift, Kristen. So we saw some people leave our hotel on Saturday, some more left on Sunday, but there's still tens of thousands of people here. They're super excited. Trumpers are a hardy breed, and so most were not going anywhere. And we were here not only to support the new administration, but to support our son, who's going to be part of the new administration. So we were going to stay come hell or high water, and we're looking forward to going to the Liberty Ball tonight.
Oh.
So as you were watching, were there anything that struck you as far as who was there, who wasn't there, who you thought was going to be there?
So you couldn't get a good glimpse of the crowd, Brian, because it was in the rotunda. We know for a fact, I met with most of the Republican delegation was at the Wisconsin ball last night, and they all said they had tickets to be inside the rotunda. It was immediate family. It was dignitaries. It was foreign dignitaries. And that was about it. It was about 650 people that could cram into the Capitol rotunda. The overflow room might have had 1,500 people. So all totaled, there may have been 2,000 or 3,000 people in the Capitol vicinity during and when there's usually tens of thousands, right? Maybe more than 100,000. So it dramatically shifted the event. And then because of the weather, the parade was canceled too. Otherwise, we'd be standing out on Pennsylvania Avenue right now, waiting for the garbage truck to roll by, which we may have had a little something to do with. And Tommy Thompson spilled the beans on that last night. So we'll see the garbage truck at the Liberty Parade for tonight.
I still can't believe that truck is there. All right, Bill, I have to get your opinion on this, because
see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
By now, you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Hey, business owners, are you looking to sell your business? I'm sure you have plenty of questions. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me for our latest Annex Wealth Management webinar. I'll be joined by Brandon Lehman and Brian Lamborn from Annex Wealth Management as we answer your questions. Who should you consult? And of course, when is the best time for you to sell your business? Sign up for this free webinar on Wednesday, January 29th. Text WEB to 855-616-1620 to sign up for the free webinar. Only here on WTMJ.
That's just a random Pink Floyd song because I'm about to tell you that we are giving away 2 tickets to see the legendary music of Pink Floyd live in concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. That sounds pretty cool. They're coming to the Riverside Theater February 7th. Tickets are on sale now at papstheatergroup.com. The legendary music of Pink Floyd, as you've never heard it before, live in concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and a full rock band. Be caller 5 to 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Caller 5 going to see the legendary music of Pink Floyd with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. We will just think about Pink Floyd here.
Are you a Pink Floyd fan?
Not really. A few songs I really love. A couple of the big hits, obviously. I saw a Pink Floyd concert film live at Pompeii when I was like a freshman in high school. Okay. And they struck me as very unclean. And for that reason, I'm out.
So it's like all jam bands. Are you kind of like Grateful Dead, Fish, like a lot of those? You're just like, there's you're always a dirty hippie. I'm not interested.
Listen. Everybody knows my stance on dirty hippies. Don't need them. But I do
use the back door. Is that the famous poster? It's like hippies use the back door.
Hippies use the back door. But I also like a handful of songs from each of those groups you named, where I don't write them off. But do I want to sit and watch Fish do a 27-minute solo jam session? Probably not. But that's just me. Now, are you strike me more as like a singer-songwriter kind of admirer.
Yeah, I'm a quintessential millennial that I still love Dave Matthews Band.
Okay.
Like every time he comes for Summerfest, I'm always like, yeah, that'll be fun. So like I can get a Guster OAR. So some of the jam bands from like the late 90s, early 2000s, my high school nostalgia kicks in.
Boy, a buddy of mine he's seen hundreds of Dave Matthews concerts. He travels around the country. He's like a deadhead of the past for Dave Matthews Band. And I guess there's a lot of people
There's a
like
lot
that.
of people who do that.
You know?
I have not. That was actually my first concert, though. Alpine Valley, freshman year of high
Really?
school. Dave Matthews Band.
Dave Matthews Band?
We had someone's parent sat in the car. Well, that'll be my penance someday, as far as having to take Frankie somewhere and sit in the car because I didn't buy a ticket, so she can go with her 14-year-old friends to
That's
Alpine
right.
Valley.
That's right. My first one was at Comiskey Park. It was the Eagles, Steve Miller Band, and opening the late, great Pablo Cruz. And I mean late, great as far as career. I don't know if any of the members are alive or not.
All right.
But yeah, it was the summer after 8th grade. And my buddy and I went down. We took the train, and then we took the L to get down to Comiskey, and it was crazy.
Oh.
And a concert T-shirt at that point, $10,
Nice.
which seemed expensive at the time.
I'm sure it did.
It's like $10, and it was a bootleg one from a street guy. So that was my first concert.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good memories.
Yeah, it was
All
a good memory.
So it is cold out. I don't know if you've been outside yet, but it is cold not only here. It is 120 million people could experience sub-zero temperatures at some point this
They're
week.
expecting 4 inches of snow in New Orleans. And you know my eye is always on New Orleans.
Well, and when's the last time it snowed in New Orleans?
The last time it snowed any was 2008. So it's been a while, and they didn't get up to 4 inches that day.
And that's what they're supposed to get?
Yeah. They could get 4 inches.
All right. Well, when we come back, Craig Copleen is going to join us to talk a little bit more about this polar vortex.
That's right.
Because it is taking the dog out right now is awful. But we also have I found this study that we're going to talk about after the news as well, as far as gloves versus mittens.
Okay.
And whether or not the old wives' tale of how much heat releases from your head is accurate.
All right. Well, a lot of cold weather topics, but right now, ABC News and local headlines.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump sitting down to sign his first official acts of a second term so he can begin governing. He's also expected later to reverse executive orders of the Biden administration and move on pardons for the January 6 defendants.
President Trump is preparing to issue a sweeping series of pardons for defendants charged in the January 6th attack on the Capitol, including commuting the prison sentences of hundreds of his supporters who've been convicted of violent attacks against law enforcement. Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC. The planned commutations for those who attacked police goes well beyond what many of his allies anticipated he would extend to the January 6 defendants, and paves the way for potentially hundreds of supporters, some sentenced to years behind bars for vicious assaults on police, to be released in the coming days. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
President Trump also criticized former President Biden, who issued his own pardons before leaving office, including for members of the Biden family, members of the House January 6 investigation, and Dr. Anthony Fauci. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. I'm Jessica Ty. An important reminder from the Milwaukee Fire Department during this dangerously cold weather. With temps below zero and wind chills expected to reach 30 below, frostbite can set in less than 30 minutes. If the cold temperatures cause shivering, confusion, or loss of muscular control like difficulty walking, you might be experiencing hypothermia. That can become life-threatening if the shivering stops and a person loses consciousness. If you encounter someone experiencing hypothermia or frostbite, call 911 immediately. Get the person inside, remove any wet clothing, and warm the person gradually. 2 people are lucky to be alive today after a 2-car rollover crash in Kenosha County. A Dodge Caravan and a pickup truck crashed around noon on Sunday. Happened near 31st Street and County Highway BD in the town of Brighton. Both vehicles ended up about 50 feet off the road. 2 people are in the hospital, but they are expected to survive. A dog was also heard and taken to the vet for assessment. Cause of that crash under investigation right now. No one has been charged. A Manitowoc sex offender sentenced to 25 years in prison. Back in 2023, 49-year-old Robert Knights pleaded guilty to repeated sexual assault of a child and then using the child to create pornography. The federal charge he was just sentenced on was for receipt of child pornography. Knights has been a registered sex offender since 1995 for a conviction in Sheboygan County. Once released, he'll spend the rest of his life on supervised release. Time for your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, and this is a quick one. The reason? The markets are closed today for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We're doing really well. There's not a lot of traffic out there because many schools are closed today. Many people are off work. We do have a disabled vehicle in a spot out in Waukesha County that tends to be busy, so I'll let you know about this one. I-94 East at the ramp from Wisconsin 164 County J. Right shoulder is blocked right now due to a disabled vehicle. And that kind of, that is a problem. You don't want your car to break down right now in these cold temps. So fingers crossed that more people are not in that boat because that's the only thing we have right now, just a couple disabled vehicles in the system. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold weather advisory is in effect through noon tomorrow. Expect wind chills of 20 to 30 degrees below zero. And an extreme cold warning will go into effect for Jefferson, Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, Dodge, Washington, and Ozaukee counties at midnight. That's for wind chills as low as 35 below. Dangerous cold, that's the bottom line. Today, we have a high of 5. At least it's sunny. It's nice to look outside. Stay bundled up inside, right? Tonight, mostly clear, very cold. We're going to dip down to 10 below by the lake, 15 below inland, and the wind chill, 35 below to 25 below. Tomorrow, sunny, very cold, or high tomorrow. Even cooler. We have a high of 3 tomorrow. Wednesday, things are looking up. We have a high of 23 on Wednesday, scattered snow showers. Thursday, mostly cloudy and flurries, high of 26. And then Friday's looking nice. Mostly sunny and a high of 28. It's currently 4 degrees in Racine and 2 degrees here in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is coming up on 1:35.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Taxes in retirement could take a bigger bite out of your savings than ever before. With a rising tax environment, many retirees are worried about running out of money. At Drake & Associates, we understand those fears, and we're here to help you feel more confident about your retirement. That's why we're offering a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you take control of your financial future. Don't let rising taxes catch you off guard. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free resources. That's TAX to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
I'm out in the cold, fighting so, with nowhere to go.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan, and we had a winner for our Pink Floyd, legendary music of Pink Floyd with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. That was Cindy.
Congratulations, Cindy.
Yes, good for you, Cindy.
That's going to be cool. I know we're going to get to it, but is there anything with the symphony orchestra is very cool, especially if you can go see a movie when they play along with the movie.
The movies are always great. Bands are always great. You know what's not great? A polar vortex. That's what's not great. 120 million people could experience sub-zero temperatures. Not so today. They're starting today. They're going for a few days. It's bad. So how bad is it? Are we just getting all worked up and
are we getting soft?
Yeah. Are we just the sky is falling? The sky is falling. Well, WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen joins us now to tell us if we actually should be concerned. Craig, thanks for taking time today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Brian.
Hi. All right, let's start. This is because we get texts of, why are you guys so worried about the weather? We're used to cold weather in Wisconsin. But what makes today and the next 2 days and this whole polar vortex thing different than just an average cold January?
So a couple of things. One, I don't think this situation that we're dealing with, that we dealt with yesterday and today and tomorrow, is all that different. This is typical Wisconsin cold. We get this kind of cold every winter, a couple times a winter. So this isn't that all unusual. But at the same time, that doesn't make it tough to deal with.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it dangerous to be out in for extended periods of time.
Does the fact that it's dipping so far past Wisconsin, is that explain to people who have heard the term, but I'm not exactly sure the definition of polar vortex.
Well, so that's interesting. One, you're right. The cold air is pushing extremely far south in this cold weather outbreak that we're having. You talked about the snow that's expected down in the Gulf Coast. But I will tell you that, to be clear, this is not a classic polar vortex situation. I know it's sort of become ubiquitous that anytime it's very cold, it must be polar vortex.
Right.
Right. In fact, it's usually not polar vortex. It's a different weather phenomenon called the polar jet stream that drives very cold air across the United States, not necessarily the polar vortex. However, the polar jet stream can be influenced by the polar vortex at times. You remember back in late 2018, that was maybe the last time we had the brutal polar vortex that drove brutally cold air across Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. So sometimes the polar vortex does drive this cold air south across the United States. In this case, early this week, it's unclear how much this has to do with polar vortex and how much it has to do with just the normal ups and downs of how winter goes across the northern U.S.
So where does La Nina or El Nino, do either of those have anything to do with what's going on?
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
We did think that going into this winter, that it was going to be a La Nina winter, which typically for the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, can mean more precipitation than usual, and it can mean the far southern United States being drier than usual. Neither of those things have happened. So, the forecast of La Nina for this winter has so far not really come to pass.
Got it.
So, will the people who are experiencing this cold far south, like on the Gulf Coast, and that, is that going to last a while? I mean, we expect it to last, the cold to last a while here, but down there, they're not prepared for it. Is their duration going to be as long, or how long?
Not much longer than us. So we're going to be brutally cold again tomorrow here in Wisconsin. But then we're going to turn things around again by Thursday. Now, being unseasonably cold in the far south may last through Thursday and into Friday, but then it'll turn around down there as well. I think a key point here is that everything's relative, right? For us, 10, 15, 20 degree below zero wind chill for southern Wisconsin is dangerous and terribly uncomfortable, right? But not unusual. Right. In the deep south, just to be below freezing for an extended period of time, people aren't prepared for that. People aren't ready for that, and so that's why this is so unusual and will be so impactful for the southern and southeastern United States.
Can you give us a quick forecast, Craig?
Yeah, so for this afternoon, we're going to be a couple degrees above zero on the thermometer, but we'll stay somewhere in the teens below zero wind chill. Tomorrow morning is when we'll be at our coldest. Tuesday morning, actual temperatures 5 to 10 below, wind chill around 30 below. It improves to around 15 to 20 below that wind chill by tomorrow afternoon, which isn't a whole lot different than it is this afternoon, right? Okay. So today and tomorrow, this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, about the same. But then by Wednesday, we're up by 10 or 15 degrees. And then by Thursday, highs will be in the low to mid 20s. Wind chills will finally be back above zero at that point. And what's real interesting here is we would be a good 10 degrees colder, maybe more, if we had snow on the ground. The fact that there's no snow on the ground right now is actually keeping us from being as cold as we would be.
All right, don't jinx us, Craig. Don't jinx us. Well, listen, we appreciate you coming on, and we will keep in touch. But I'm glad to know this is not some earth-ending day after situation. We are going to be fine. We just got to get through the next couple days. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen, always there to help us out. Thanks, Craig. We'll talk to you again.
My pleasure.
Take care. So that's good. It's just regular cold.
Regular cold.
So, but really cold.
But still, make sure that you bundle up when you go out.
But you found some things that maybe the way we bundled up is not quite how we should bundle up.
I was going to say, are you a gloves guy or a mittens guy?
Well, we'll talk about that after this on Spanning the State.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
At Grunberg Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Grunberg Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Outdoor Living Unlimited puts cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Oh, it can always get warmed up by some classic Foreigner coming through On Spanning the State, I'm Brian Noonan.
And I'm Kristen Bry. And as we bundle up to deal with this polar vortex, Brian, are you a glove guy or a mitten guy?
I have, over my lifetime, I have been everything because I believed that maybe mittens would. I've always had trouble keeping my fingers warm, always, my entire life. So now I am back to gloves. So it's been gloves for a while.
Why?
I actually got this is not a plug. I'm not being compensated for this, but if they want to, that's fine. I went with some new Carhartt gloves last year because I figured they build these for men and women who work outside. This is the warmest my hands have been in a while.
Okay.
So I'm stuck on those.
Well, an experiment in Antarctica confirmed the opposite, that mittens outperform gloves at protecting our fingers from the cold. So in 2016, an emergency medicine physician from the University of Arizona who was stationed in Antarctica during the winter.
Who did he upset?
Systematically tested more than 20 hand coverings. So it was gloves and mittens, and then with various combinations of linings and disposable hand warmers.
Okay.
And so how did he measure this besides just like, are my hands cold? He attached a digital temperature sensor to his pinky.
Oh.
And so then he would put the hand covering on both hands and walk half a mile distance through town, which is like next to a windy sea ice situation. And it was always like around minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And so he would repeat the walk 3 times for each kind of hand covering. This is, talk about having a lot of time on your hands.
Well, what else are you going to do in Antarctica?
Literally
Look
on
at
your
penguins?
hands. So mittens generally performed better than gloves in keeping fingers warm. So battery-operated heated gloves and mittens both effectively kept the hands above the temperature comfort zone. Otherwise, mittens plus liners tended to do the same, but generic mittens without liners outperformed gloves even with hand warmers.
Really? Because now I've tried all kinds of mittens. I know you're keeping your fingers
so it's the
together.
Body heat, apparently.
It's gotta
because
be.
It lets the body heat, and so you're not, the surface area of your hands being exposed to the cold is less when you're all those 4 fingers. But you can't do as much.
That's the thing.
It's like when you have little claws like that, you're like, well, how do I do anything besides just, I guess you can hold on to your steering wheel with mittens on.
You can, and you can slap somebody. But other than that, you can't really do anything. And mittens just seem so geared toward little children and skiers. I remember skiers wear a lot of mittens.
Okay.
And little kids always say, you don't put gloves on a little kid. You just jam their hands in the mittens, and then you put the string through the sleeves so they don't lose them. But yeah, I believed that for a long time, and now this guy is saying it's true. It just never worked for me.
Well, and if you found something that worked, that's all that matters.
Yeah, listen. Plus, to be honest, I left the house once yesterday, and that was to take the garbage out. And I was outside for 3 minutes, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I got to get in. There's no... when I open the door and death could be on the other side of the threshold, that's too much for me.
Fair.
You know?
All right. Well, then also, because you, in this last year, shaved your head.
I did.
You're now rocking a bald head.
The baldy, yeah.
And I've heard you say this the other day, that you feel like you can totally tell the difference as far as how much heat is escaping your head.
I feel colder. I don't know which way it is. I don't know if the hair was blocking the outside temp or the hair was keeping my head percolating under it was a thinning mat, but it was still there. But yes, I do notice the cold much more now that I'm shaved my head.
So apparently you're not losing more body heat through your head. You lose heat in proportion to how much of your body is exposed. So whichever part of the body that is going to where the heat's going to escape from. So you should still wear a hat in winter, but you also have to make sure that, other parts of your body are also still covered. So it's like, because if your head's not covered and the rest of your body is, that's why you think that there's more heat leaving from your head, but that's only because that's the part that's not covered.
How many people go out with just a hat and nothing else? I'm going to wear a T-shirt, some gym shorts, but I have a nice woolen hat
I don't know.
on.
I feel like as in Wisconsin, you see guys in flip-flops and shorts and maybe like a hat on.
Those guys need to be rounded up by medical professionals, put under observation, and treated for whatever sort of malady they are encountering, because that's not true. So are you I know
think
you have a big
I usually
coat.
grab gloves because I feel like I need to be able to use my hands.
You're big on your phone and social media and
Yeah.
stuff. Have you ever? I've tried those gloves that supposedly you could use your phone. It's all hogwash.
Yes.
Have
Don't
you-
buy those. And they're super thin, and so they don't even keep your hands that warm. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a waste of money.
All right. So we've learned that I should wear mittens and something other than just a hat, which will keep me warmer and make the neighbors happier too when I'm out taking out the garbage. Like, why doesn't he have anything else on but a hat?
Pants. All right, we'll have more after this on Spanning the State.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Fingers come in different sizes,
It's one of the first things you learn as a jeweler,
and a ring can only be sized up or down a little bit.
which means it's a really good thing to know your ring size.
And it's an even better thing to know their ring size.
This is why we're announcing
The Ring Size Registry at Kessler's.
we're doing it as a public service. It's completely free.
Free. Isn't that a great price?
Here's how it works.
Just drop into any Kessler's Diamonds location and tell one of the owners that you'd like to know your ring size.
Kessler's is an employee-owned company, so whoever greets you at the door is an owner.
They'll determine your ring sizes and add them to our Ring Size Registry.
Then, when someone wants to know your ring size,
Because, maybe they want to surprise you.
all they have to do is call or stop into Kessler's.
Surprises can be fun, don't you think?
We're happy to do this for you, even if you don't buy a ring from us.
But after you take a look around, we think you probably will. Visit KesslersDiamonds.com for a location near you and register your ring sizes today.
The Fox and Hound Supper Club in Hubertus is hiring bussers, food expos, and food runners. This is a great job for high school students. You'll make real money and always busy. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids and start next week. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Perfect day on the ice, huh, Pat? Ice auger, fishing rod, portable generator, and that genius pizza oven. Pepperoni's ready.
For frozen lakes, toasty crusts, and everything in between, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Like $60 off a Milwaukee Drill Driver Combo Kit and select Nutrichomps dog chews, buy one, get one half price. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
David Nason here, your trusted Fix-It-Show guy, here to give you some essential home maintenance advice. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, cracks in your basement, it's time to call the experts I trust at Accurate Basement Repair. They've fixed many of our listeners' basements, and the results were fantastic. Dry, secure, and peace of mind restored. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. Call them today.
Thanks, David. Accurate Basement Repair. We're not just good, we're accurate.
Some musical overtures have become more famous than the operas and ballets they introduced. This week on the Lutheran Hour, Dr. Leo Sanchez says John the Baptist is like an overture to Jesus, but John doesn't claim the spotlight for himself. Dr. Sanchez tells how John became the living voice sent by God to prepare the world for Jesus' lordship and salvation. This week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works. Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Built Right. One location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 2 o'clock, it's currently 4 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Julia Fellow. Be aware, a cold weather advisory in effect today through noon tomorrow for wind chills of more than 30 degrees below zero. Extreme cold warning goes into effect for Jefferson, Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, Dodge, Washington, and Ozaukee counties from midnight tonight until noon tomorrow. Again, the wind chills could go as low as 35 below zero. Tonight will be very cold. The low will be 10 below zero at the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. Tomorrow, sunny, but it won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees, with the wind chills making it feel like 35 degrees below zero. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center at this hour, President Donald Trump is at the inaugural luncheon. The president's inauguration speech packed with many of the same themes of his campaign.
The golden age of America begins right now.
The president's opening words were followed by some of his top goals.
I will declare a national emergency at our southern border,
allowing him to send troops, reinstitute the Remain in Mexico policy, halt all illegal entry as part of what he called a revolution of common sense. The president also promised to bring down prices and impose tariffs on foreign countries. And in a bow to American exceptionalism,
I will very simply put America first.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A last-minute pardon for members of the Biden family.
President Biden announced in the final minutes of his presidency that he's issuing pardons for his brother Jim and Jim's wife Sarah, his sister Valerie Owens and her husband John, and his brother Frank. The president said in a statement his family has been subjected to, quote, unrelenting attacks and threats motivated solely by a desire to hurt me, the worst kind of partisan politics. He adds, unfortunately, I have no reason to believe these attacks will end. The president doesn't say what the pardons could be for, what he thinks his family would be targeted for, but he says the pardon should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement of any wrongdoing or admission of guilt for any offense. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
New details about an 80-year-old man who died after being found on the sidewalk in the bitter cold. Surveillance video shows John Siebold of Milwaukee falling down on the corner of 13th and Orchard Avenue just before 2:30 yesterday morning. Siebel then appeared to get back up, grab a nearby tree before falling down again. He was found nearly 4 hours later unresponsive. The medical examiner has ruled his death an accident. President Trump filing executive action to pause a ban on the social media app TikTok. Janesville Republican Congressman Brian Style tells WTMJ the app still has to separate from its Chinese-owned parent company.
And the fact that they won't divest of it, meaning sell it for billions of dollars to separate this national security concern, they would rather have your data than have the money of selling the company.
TikTok temporarily disappeared for America's 170 million users over the weekend, but was quickly restored. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 334, S&P 500 up 59, NASDAQ up 291. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 2:03.
We know what you're thinking, and all we can tell you is to drive careful.
Yep, Wisconsin roads are no joke this time of year, especially when you're driving on old, worn-out tires.
Schedule yourself a tire appointment with Richlands. We carry all sorts of tire brands, including Goodyear, Kelly, Continental, and General, to name a few.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free tire mounting, free lifetime tire rotation, free flat tire repairs, and free alignment inspections.
Not to mention free wheel corrosion cleaning, lifetime warranty spin balance, and prorated tire protection.
Let's just say if you're driving around town, especially this time of year on old, worn-out tires, you're due for tire service.
Courtney's right. And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you have good tread on your tires, because cold, wet, icy roads are no joke. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Quick correction, gave you the Dow and S&P and NASDAQ. The markets are closed today for MLK Day. So I just wanted to let you know those are the numbers as of Friday. Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk in Milwaukee.
Jackson behind the back pass to Giannis going the other way, who stuffs it down on some terrific playmaking from the second-year man out of UConn.
David Kane with a call here on WTMJ. Giannis would finish with 34 points, including that slam as the Bucks easily handled the Sixers, 123-109. Milwaukee has today and tomorrow off ahead of a road trip to New Orleans Wednesday. College football will crown a new national champion tonight as Ohio State faces Notre Dame in Atlanta. On the hardwood, the Wisconsin women are back in action tonight against Nebraska, looking for their first win since December 20th. The men are off tonight before visiting UCLA tomorrow. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Let's take a look at your road through WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. We have a disabled vehicle at the exit to Highway 49 from 41 North. It looks like it's a huge truck carrying at least 10 vehicles, and it's stuck on that exit to Highway 49. Be aware. And 94 East, the ramp from Highway 164 to County J, the right shoulder is blocked because there's a vehicle that is disabled right now. Cold weather advisory for much of southeast Wisconsin. Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, very cold. 10 below zero at the lake, 15 below zero inland, actual temperatures. The wind chill make it feel like it's 35 below zero. Tomorrow, sunny, really cold. The high will be just 3 degrees. Wind chill again, down to negative 35. Wednesday, scattered snow showers are possible. Breezy, a bit warmer. than what it was, a high of 23. Thursday, mostly cloudy, flurries are possible, high of 26. Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 28. Right now, in Madison, it's 2 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 1 degree. In Milwaukee, it's 4 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 2:07.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Well, until it doesn't, the world keeps spinning, and that means more stories coming out of Wisconsin that you might have missed. You can always get more details by texting SPIN. 855-616-1620 is the number. All right, Kristen, it's not too cold for the wheel to spin, so shall we start?
Not frozen?
Not frozen.
All right.
Eagle River.
Eagle River. Well, that's far north. All right. So this seems to be a fitting story based on the weather. Last week, more than 2,000 blocks of ice were cut and harvested and then hauled by a convoy of pickup trucks to a parking lot between the historic train depot and the Friendship House family restaurant as part of the 62nd annual World Championship snowmobile races. The Wisconsin State Journal reported that after 4 days of smoothing, shaping, and stacking the 70-pound, 13-inch thick rectangular blocks, a 33-foot tall ice castle was completed. That's pretty tall.
Yeah, that's very
pretty
big.
tall. If you think of it as 3 basketball hoops.
Yeah, that's
taller than that. All right. It's the first time since 2022 and just the third time since 2018 that the weather has cooperated enough to continue a tradition that started more than 90 years ago. The lack of snow has hurt local bars, restaurant, hotels, and other businesses because there hasn't been enough snowmobilers on the trails. Residents hope the ice castles will help. Michael Anderson, chief of the Eagle River Fire Department, which coordinates and provides much of the labor for the ice castle's construction, said, quote, "We're a tourist community. In the summer, we have our lakes, and the winter, we have our snowmobiling trails. I believe it will help with the lack of snow for the local businesses. I know it will help in the downtown area, but I hope it will help the surrounding area also." The castle is open 24 hours a day and illuminated by blue light at night. Admission is free, but there's a donation box and Venmo information to support construction efforts.
The pictures of it are amazing.
33 feet.
33 feet.
That's
like
nothing.
It's like living in Frozen. It's beautiful.
Let it go. Let it go.
Anytime we can get you to sing is a good day. Well, let's see. We've gone from Frozen. Let's see if there's a song for this next story.
West Bend.
Oh, well, it's rare for somebody to work at the same place for their entire career anymore. Jane Starr of West Bend did just that. Jane has just retired after working 44 years at the West Bend McDonald's.
Wow.
Yes. She began her life under the Golden Arches in 1980. The Journal-Sentinel spoke with the owner of the McDonald's, Steve Killian, who said he knew from the moment he bought the franchise in 1990 that she had the work ethic to do well in the company since she had already been there for 10 years. Said Steve, "I never had to worry about her being late. She was very hardworking. He even promoted her to manager at one point, but that didn't last. Why? Because Jane Starr loved the morning shift, working the drive-thru without any managerial stress." Killian said she never really talked about leaving. The closest was when I tried to make her a manager. Starr also saw the rise of different food products and enjoyed seeing how customers would react to them. One was the McBrat. I don't remember the McBrat.
I definitely don't remember the McBrat.
Well, it was a Johnsonville brat with slivered onions, which West Bend tested in 1998.
Wow, okay.
Yes, then she also recounted to the Journal-Sentinel what it was like in West Bend during the teeny beanie craze.
That I remember.
That I remember, too, because my wife thought it was Molly's college education fund. It was a crazy time, she said. Cars were backed up to the street to come in. The toys were part of the Happy Meal. Some people were upset that they had to buy the food and not just the toy. Lots of fast food history, but after 44 years, Jane Starr, you deserve a break today.
Yeah.
That was the old McDonald's slogan.
Oh, you deserve a break?
You deserve a break today, so get up and get away to McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah. That's before
Deep
your
cut.
time.
Yeah, it was definitely before my time.
Yeah, I'm here just for deep cuts.
I know. I appreciate
that's
it.
That's why I'm here. All right. We've got time for one more destination. No McDonald's song from you? Works hard for the money, maybe for retirement, 44
What
years
is the
old?
McDonald's song?
What is it now?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh,
That's
I'm
what I
loving
was thinking.
it.
I was thinking
All
JT.
right. Yeah, I went way back. All right, one more stop.
Madison.
All right. Have you ever wondered where your donated stuff goes if it doesn't sell, besides a landfill?
I had not.
But yeah, when you drop stuff off.
Sure, I just drop it off and I figure
you think
somebody's going to
someone
get
will
it.
buy it. Well, if you donated it to a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Dane County, it might end up at a place called Dig and Save Outlet Store in Madison.
Okay.
At Dig and Save, people can shop for clothes and household items mostly by the pound. So some shoppers are there for personal buying, others for resale. Shoppers say there's so much more to the place than just hot deals. A reporter from Wisconsin Life talked to one regular shopper who told her, quote, "Shopping gives you the serotonin rush you're looking for. When you can find that really good thing here, it makes you really happy. There's a community here and I can share it with people. I definitely know a lot of people here in line. Eventually the line will wrap around the parking lot and you can share your joy. And then you meet different communities of people. Like there's a clothing community, an electronics community, and a toys community. They're all looking for different things, and I look for everything." Another customer was looking for specific items. "I love going to Dig and Save. I love to find blankets and donate them to the shelters in Madison.
Well, that's very nice.
If you plan on going, be ready." The reporter was told, quote, "This place moves fast. Everybody will get there and dart for a cart, and then they're straight back to wherever they go."
Wow. All right.
Dumpster diving, it sounds like. Almost, not really, but.
Well, if you look at in the article, there are pictures, and it does almost look like dumpster diving. Imagine big
just
bins.
by the pound.
And you're just
I'm down
going
with that.
through.
I'd much rather this than a landfill.
Oh, yeah, listen, there's people there, like they said, they're buying it for all kinds of reasons. Some woman in the story had found a nice set of matching dishes with plates, cups, the whole deal. You know, I don't know what those cost per pound, but
I wonder if anything like this exists in Milwaukee.
we'll have to
I have some stuff to donate.
All right, we'll have to find out. That's spinning. If you missed any of the stories or just want more details, or you're looking to just dive in and buy products by the pound, then text SPIN to 855-616-1620. You can also text WATCH, and you can watch the show, and you can get our podcast wherever podcasts are available. So listen to the show and listen to Spinning however you want at your convenience. Today is MLK Day. When we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit of the meanings and the origins and the reason why some schools in Wisconsin are still not taking the day off to observe MLK Day. We'll do that after this on Spanning the State.
There are a lot of interesting people and traditions in Wisconsin. 1 hour of covering culture and creativity in our state is simply not enough. I'm Sandy Max of WTMJ's What's on Tap with the happy news that my show is now expanded to 2 hours. So please join me weeknights from 6 till 8 for updates on festivals, films, food, music, theater, and other ways we love to make the most of Wisconsin life. What's on Tap with Sandy Max weeknights now from 6 till 8 on WTMJ. And subscribe to the What's on Tap podcast to listen anytime you want.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin.
For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. I got to be honest, and this is not, well, take it for what it's worth. I could listen to that speech every day.
I know.
That speech is phenomenal, and there's a reason that it resonates decades after Dr. Martin Luther King gave it on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
It's, wow. In some ways,
250,000 people were there.
That's amazing. At that point, that was 63.
Yeah, and I also just think about it from the sense, I mean, because after the bottom of the hour, we're talking about TikTok and my roller coaster with TikTok over the weekend. But, one of the things with that and most social media that a lot of political organizers, campaign, people who are trying to mobilize people and organize now use social media. To think of that many people traveling and like how you had to organize and how many people picked up the phone and how many people were carpooling and like how all of those people got there.
Yes.
Is for this millennial brain, like breaks my brain.
Well, you're right. We focus on the speech, which we should, but the logistics are amazing. How did you get that word out? What's the network of community leaders and religious leaders and everything that had to get that word out, keep hammering home that this was happening, then organize? And these were, people are taking old buses, old cars in a time where there weren't a lot of fast food restaurants dotting the highway. So now you have to feed these people. You have to have water for these people. You get them to Washington. Where are they going to sleep? Where are they going to go to the bathroom? All that stuff that is behind the scenes that results in us seeing the footage of that day and thinking, wow, that's a turnout.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It was very, very moving. This, of course, is MLK Day. 1983, Ronald Reagan signed a bill making the third Monday in January a federal holiday to observe Martin Luther King's legacy. First observed the holiday 3 years later on January 20th, 1986. And that took
a while.
15 years after his death to finally get something done that way.
And wasn't it another 17 years for every state to actually recognize it?
I was just telling you that I remember when this happened in 1986, and there were states that were so belligerent that they were not going to celebrate Martin Luther King Day, and everybody had their own quote unquote justification for not wanting to observe the day.
What were some of them? Because 1986 is the year I was born, so this fight over this was largely when I was not necessarily paying attention.
A lot of it was just that they're not going to close businesses and they're not going to close the banks and they're not going to. It was all superficial stuff that was basically, and it was a lot with some of the southern and southwestern states and a few northern states. So there were some underlying currents of. How do you say racism without saying race? Oh, you don't. Okay, so we'll put that out there.
Well, it's also what people forget is that when he died. He was wildly unpopular. Public surveys about his popularity was, I forgot exactly, it was in the 20s. People at the time did not like him. And it's only his legacy since that now everyone uses an MLK quote on Today to talk about civility and getting along and moving forward.
Well, it was a lot of, it was J. Edgar Hoover who didn't like his politics and his beliefs. And so J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI talk about the quote of now the accusations of weaponizing the Justice Department. They turned their attention on Martin Luther King. He had gone to jail. There was a policy in place in this country to try to keep things the way they were. And Martin Luther King was fighting against that, along with more militant leaders like Malcolm X and things like that. And, so the powers that be wanted, keep it quiet. Keep it quiet there, Dr. King. And so, yes, he was. It depends, I guess, on who you listened to or read from back then, whether how popular he was. I know there were sections of the black community that didn't like the nonviolent approach, that wanted things to move a little faster. But I also remember reading about all the riots in inner cities that happened after his assassination.
Yeah.
And here's just another unsolicited plug. If you're ever in Memphis and you really want to know the story, the National Civil Rights Museum at the Hotel Lorraine, which is the hotel where he was assassinated by James Earl Ray, is a phenomenal museum.
Okay.
It's a whole timeline of the civil rights movement. You are on the balcony as after you go through the museum, and there's interactive exhibits and all kinds of things, and then you go up the stairs to the second. You go outside to the second floor of the Hotel Lorraine, which is just an old school motel. It's
I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah, and you're right outside the room, and then you walk through the room next door and look into the room he was staying in, but you're on the balcony where he was assassinated. Then across the street, they opened. First time I was there, it wasn't there. Then they opened an extra building inside the building where James Earl Ray was, where he fired the shots. But it's more timelines, it's more history, it's fascinating, and it does give a comprehensive look at everything that was going on in the country at that time. So there you go.
There you go.
Now. Let's take a
break and then come back and talk about
Take a quick break and we'll finish this other thing up. It's Spanning the State.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
Wanted to get you some information on the shooting suspect in that United Healthcare CEO shooting that took place in New York.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
Charged with murder as an act of terrorism. Kind of bizarre when I saw that.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Afternoon News, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavidi for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Here's what I love about Heiser. All the great programs. Safe and Sound program. Vehicle exchange program. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser, today's your day.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
I'm still not sick of this song, even though it was played so. This was. I mean, this is Freedom from Beyonce, and she let Kamala Harris use this as her campaign song,
okay.
so it was played a lot. Still not sick of it. Not because it was Kamala Harris's campaign song, but I love this song since it came out on the Lemonade album, and I'm still love it.
Those are a lot of words I don't understand. I understand Beyonce, and I knew Lemonade was an album. Don't get upset. I know Lemonade was one of Beyonce's big albums. I just didn't track it.
Okay. You've heard that song before, though.
Probably. I don't know. Listen, where am I listening to Beyonce? Me and my beehive getting together on a Sunday for brunch?
I'm pretty sure they played it at the DNC, which you were at.
I was at the DNC. I was like Bill McCutcheon. I had a VIP ticket and I couldn't get in. So I was more focused on the personal affront to my VIP-ness that.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, moving right along.
Moving along. We only have a minute and a half. Maybe we should set this up and then talk. All right. Explain it
real quick. It's Martin Luther King Day, so most of us think that all schools are off and all school districts are closed. That is not the case everywhere, and it's not the case in Northwest Wisconsin. In 2023 and just this year, there was a survey by WPR of that area. 44 school districts tallied in 2023. 15 were closed on the holiday. 29 remained open. This year, numbers are kind of reversed. 26 districts they are closed, but 16 remain open. That at first blush, I was like, well, why are they being so disrespectful? But as you pointed out earlier, Martin Luther King Day is supposed to be a day of service. And so when Jill Underly was asked about this, she said, well, as long as schools are doing things and teaching lessons about not only Martin Luther King, but about serving your community, then they're fulfilling that and they don't need to give the day off.
Which I kind of agree with. I feel like if you're going to be doing something active in school, learning about MLK, being of service, it's probably better than going on a long weekend with your parents somewhere.
Depends where they go. All right, when we come back, Kristen had a roller coaster with TikTok this weekend.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The second term of the Trump administration ushering in changes on day one. President Trump, in his first speech after being sworn in, struck an optimistic tone, but also President Trump vowed to reverse the policies of former President Joe Biden. ABC's Jonathan Carl has more.
You heard Donald Trump describe Joe Biden's time in the White House as a, quote, horrible betrayal. It was a harsh condemnation of the outgoing president and a promise of a new age, and the implicit, even the optimistic parts of this speech, the coming of a golden age that begins now, is a not so implicit condemnation of the age that has just ended.
Today's inauguration and inaugural parade moved indoors due to the bitter cold temperatures. Crowds that were expected to line the streets are now filling up at the Capital One Arena to hear President Trump and Melania, First Lady, later on. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 2:31. I'm Julia Fellow. New details about an 80-year-old man who died after being found on the sidewalk in the bitter cold. Surveillance video shows John Siebold of Milwaukee falling down on the corner of 13th and Orchard Avenue just before 2:30 a.m. Sunday. He appeared to get back up, grabbed a nearby tree, and fell again. He never got back up and was found dead 4 hours later. The medical examiner has ruled his death an accident. An important reminder from the Milwaukee Fire Department during this dangerously cold weather with temperatures below zero, wind chills expected to reach 35 below zero. Frostbite can set in less than a half hour. If the cold temperatures cause shivering, confusion, or loss of your muscular control, like difficulty walking, you might be experiencing hypothermia. Call 911 immediately to get help. After a two-car rollover crash in Kenosha County, 2 people are in the hospital and a dog is in the veterinarian hospital this morning. Both vehicles ended up about 50 feet off the road. It happened near 31st Street and County Highway BD in the town of Brighton. 2 people again in the hospital. They are expected to be okay. The dog hurt was taken to the vet for assessment. The cause of the crash under investigation. No one has been charged. The markets are closed today for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, but News About Your Money is sponsored by WTMJ Annex Wealth Management. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's take a look at your road, shall we, with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Have a few things going on just south of Fond du Lac, a disabled vehicle at Highway 49 from 41 north at this time. Just about to clear up. And about west of Mequon, a disabled vehicle on the ramp from Lannon Road to 4145 south. And then we're looking at downtown Milwaukee. There's a crash that just happened on Highway 145 in Fond du Lac from I-43 north. I'm taking a look at the DOT cams. It looks like there are some backups that are already beginning. One more thing causing major backups on 94 west, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Blue Mountain Road. The right shoulder is blocked because of a disabled vehicle. It looks like the police are on scene right now trying to help that person, or that person's pulled over. Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold weather advisory in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin until noon tomorrow. Tonight will be very cold. The low will be 10 below zero at the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. The wind chill make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Sunny tomorrow, but it won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees with the wind chills making it feel like it's 35 below zero. Scattered snow Wednesday with a high of 23 degrees. Flurries Thursday with a high of 26. Sunday, a sunny Friday, with a high of 28 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 2 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 1 degree. And in Milwaukee, it's 3 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 2:34.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
I remember this from Welcome Back, Kotter, a fine sitcom that launched John Travolta's career in the mid-'70s. I think Rhea played it because, Kristen, you had it? You lost it, you have it back again. We're talking about TikTok. I thought of you because when I started seeing things break on Saturday night.
Oh, were you on it Saturday night? Were you on the Titanic? I was watching it sink.
No, I was watching something else, but and all these reports came out,
okay.
and so I clicked on my TikTok app, which I have zero activity, and I got the box.
Yep.
That must have freaked you out?
It didn't freak me out. I mean, we all knew.
You knew it was coming.
We knew that it was coming. We knew that there was reports that it would go dark somewhere between 8:30, 9:30 Saturday night, even though the technical ban was the 19th.
Right.
And so I spent a lot of Saturday downloading my videos, downloading different things that like my stuff that I would maybe use in the future, trying to organize it. And then it started glitching and it was off, right?
Wow.
And so the first message said, we regret that a U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. So for about 20 minutes, that was the pop-up message that you got if you tried to sign into TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Then it changed.
Right.
And then the Be Right Back message said, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned! !
That was the message I got.
So then that was weird.
Yeah.
Like thanking someone, he's not actually the president yet, but thanking him in your away message was kind of weird. It was dark overnight. Go ahead.
Can we point out that you're thanking the guy who for months
originally cited an executive order in 2020 to ban it. Yes.
Get rid of TikTok.
So then all day Sunday, I was writing my column about TikTok being gone.
Okay.
And then I checked my phone, and TikTok is back. So it ended up being, depending on when it turned off and came back on for you, somewhere between like 14 and 17 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And the welcome back message said, thanks for your patience and support. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the U.S. You can continue to create, share, and discover all the things you love on TikTok. And it's just... and people are saying it's a political stunt and they were planning this all along. And there's so now like the conspiracy theories are running wild as far as how this happened. People think that Meta bought TikTok, which is absolutely not true because Meta is a publicly traded company. And for them to have this kind of merger or anything, there would be a paper trail. And so but it's just the whole way that the roller coaster of this went down and the hypocrisy around all of it and everything smells bad about this. And I pivoted to what I was going to write about, and kind of where I'm at now is the same thing I asked Bill McCoshen at the beginning of the show, which is like, we should be uncomfortable that all of these tech oligarchs are sitting in the front row or on stage at the inauguration.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk,
Tim Cook.
And so that all of these guys are this cozy that own all of the platforms that we communicate on. Yeah. It has made me, as someone who, I've said this before, built a career on creating and putting stuff out there on the internet, of just wondering if this is a time to take a break.
It does seem fishy. It's, I had predicted that it would change tomorrow because Donald Trump was not inaugurated till today. It smacks a little bit of Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter and the Iran hostages, but with, I think, much deeper implications because 170 million Americans are on TikTok. And you're right. The fact that the front row of this inauguration was these social media guys instead of the cabinet of the United States, who is really going to be running things? And if you think, well, you're being hysterical, I don't think I am. I think it's going to bear watching to see where things go. There's a lot of talk about free speech, but there's also then a lot of talk about cracking down on people who don't agree. So you're allowed free speech unless you disagree. And then voices of dissent, are we not calling the quieting of those voices limiting free speech? Or are we calling that protecting, the national good?
National security.
National security.
Because that is what, when the Supreme Court upheld the ban, it's more than just TikTok. They basically gave unilateral power to the president to say that any foreign-owned social media company, he can deem, it's like a two-step process basically for,
right.
I'm going to say he because we've never had a woman president, can basically say in the name of national security, no more of this app.
Right.
And so it is weird times, Ryan.
It is. And to your point about taking a step back, it's for you, it's a lot of effort. It's also fun, right? Like I get a lot of creative fulfillment out of communicating in that way. Right.
Whether we're talking about news, trying to, be creative outside
Tell
of the
your
box of
dad
what
jokes.
we do on the radio, right?
Right. Yeah, but like I don't know. I don't know if it's, do you step back and let it happen, or do you stay on and fight is the wrong word, because I don't know how much any of us individually do will change the course of what's coming, but do we stay on there and try to voice a little dissent or try to send our own message to balance some of it out? It's an odd time, and I don't usually, like, up until a few years ago, I was the most apolitical guy you ever met.
Oh, really?
I voted. I knew what was happening. I paid attention to the big national stories, but it wasn't a day-to-day thing. It was like, okay, the election cycles come around. Oh, I'm listening to this candidate's position. I'm listening to this candidate's position. Then I'm voting. And then guess what? I'm done until the next time it comes around.
Was it around 2017? I mean, was it 2016? Because I feel like that's when a lot of people started.
Yes.
Like news consumption went up.
Yes.
During the first Trump administration.
It was that. So I always knew what was happening and always was involved in the process. I always made sure I voted. But yeah, then it became. And part of it is because of what we do. Every day there was another story. Every day there was another outrageous statement. And so it was like, okay, we've got to stay on. And that was when you weren't really sure where the social media platforms stood. Some of them, their bias was a little more evident than others. Now they've all bent a knee. And so where does that leave us?
I don't know, because I feel like as I've reflected on this some, what I do know is in each iteration of every social media app that's come out, basically, I mean, MySpace predated even Facebook, right? But people want to form online communities, especially over niche interests that they find other people who like the same things that they do. People want to learn from one another. People want to be creative and have the stuff that they create be consumed by people. People want to witness other people's creativity. And so there is such a big mark, but we also don't want our data exploited and used against us, whether that's by a foreign adversary or a capitalist person who is, selling it to the highest bidder or using it to train AI robot overlords.
How do you explain then to a young person why that's important? Because you're right. People don't seem to care who's got their information, and they default to, well, somebody's already got it anyway. So how do we change that perception and say, listen, you may be 16 now, and your videos are really funny or instructive or whatever, and they're doing great, but this is the cost that you could pay somewhere down the line.
I think it's just technological literacy, right? It's like media literacy. It's understanding the cost, but I also think that there is an opportunity for this now paves the way for the opportunity for a new app that thinks about social media in a different way.
How many of the 170 million people on TikTok do you think studied media literacy and social media literacy?
More than you'd probably expect, because there's a
Okay.
lot of academics on there who have very big followings and talk about what they're experts in.
Okay, that's
but
good.
probably a lot that also have not. So.
All right. Well, let's do this. Then there's more. It's Spanning the State.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. As we ring in 2025, are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? It's time to make a resolution, to get moving again. No more achy joints for your knees, your hips, shoulders, or your back. You're going to call QC Kinetics in 2025, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. Got locations in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions. So many of your neighbors here in Milwaukee are living life again without the constant pain in their joints. Here's what you do. Resolve to get lasting relief in 2025. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today. Happy New Year.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and if you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out Dr. James Michaels at Economowalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. He's prioritized patients' needs, no matter how sensitive, since he began practicing in 1985. If you're due for a dental visit, Economowalk Dental has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to an exam, you'll receive a gentle professional cleaning that will leave your mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economowalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. So, just any final thoughts on this? Where do you think?
I mean, I don't know where it's going to go.
Right.
Because like this is the conflict now as far as TikTok goes. That as of right now, the Oracle, which stores the data, Apple and Google, which stores the app in their app stores, are technically in violation of the law. And It's only this administration that has give assurances that they are going to work on a deal, and he's doing the executive order to extend the ban for 90 days. But like, he is supposed to, the only reason that he can do that is if there's like a deal on the table, which
there is not.
It doesn't sound like there is. There's proposals that have been thrown out as far as 50% ownership in the U.S., but so everything's still kind of up in the air of what it could mean. TikTok could still go away, but just the way that it all went down, coupled with Meta saying that they're not going to fact check anymore, coupled with what Elon Musk has done to X, it just kind of all feels
icky.
Yeah.
And going back to your icky, and you described it as fishy earlier, which I think is apt. The fact that the ban came from bipartisan support, The other day, a lot of Republican congressmen and senators who had supported that bipartisan bill that led to the ban are not really happy with the way this has changed either. So it's I don't know how you go about overturning this law without something to back it up and not just blatantly going, listen, I love TikTok. They gave me a lot of money. I made a deal with China, whatever.
Well, it's also
whatever
helped get him elected.
Right.
I mean, he's said that publicly as far as Charlie Kirk and Turning Points USA and how much of since the 2020 election, how much of an influx there was of MAGA and right-wing young creators on TikTok that he had a big uptick in Trump had a big uptick with young people. And one of the theories is because of conservative and MAGA TikTok creators.
Well, one of the big knocks against Facebook in the last election, the 2020 election, was that they were filtering out a lot of pro Donald Trump and pro MAGA content. Now, with all of those social media CEOs bending that knee, is there any room, I'm wondering, for content from the left or from young people who want to back Democratic candidates? We're going to have to see, because it sure would, on the surface, it seems like they're building a social media wall that nobody's going to get past.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break and then finish up after this.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Time's ticking on Heiser's Drive Into 2025 sales event. The clock is literally running out on remaining 2024 models. We're making room for new rides, which means huge savings just for you. Shop online or race in today and get a new vehicle for way less than expected. With low payments, special financing, and immediate delivery, you'll start 2025 in style without breaking the bank. But hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone. Visit Heiser.com now for all of the details and get ready to roll into the new year with a celebratory deal.
See dealer for complete details.
Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano. John Mercure here. Wait, does that car say Pella on the side? What's Gina Della doing here?
Sorry, I'm late.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Recognize my voice? Get used to it.
Talk all things Windows, business, and being a boss in more ways than one with Gina Della from Pella's very own show right here on WTMJ. Starting February 1st, tune into What's the Difference every Saturday morning at 6:30 or stream anytime on WTMJ.com.
What a tease.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
believe it's time for me to fly.
We do not have enough time to debate this because we gotta pass it off to Wisconsin's Afternoon News. But someone just texted in when Napster was taken down, that was way worse than this TikTok stuff. It's a bold claim.
That's a flex right there. That might be the head of Napster.
LimeWire.
Yeah.
Just giving your computer viruses this way and every way you can. All right. Well,
we gotta go.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next.
See ya.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This